Well, hello everybody, welcome to Robert's Train Set. Right, this is the long-awaited video, or maybe not. I did mention that Richard at St Michael's Hill, which is a lovely little layout he's got there, amazing what you can do with a very small layout. He did a favourite wagon and locomotive video, which I quite enjoyed, as I said at the time. It's interesting to see his choices. So I've asked him, and he's quite happy that I do something on that line, and he'd be quite happy if other YouTubers did it. So if you fancy choosing your favourite locos and wagons and whatever, go for it. Let's get a set of these and we can compare notes, can't we? Anyway, so I'm not going to do it quite the same as Richard did. I'm going to have trains running, albeit only in a very small part of the video, just behind what I'm showing. And what you see behind me are some of the trains, or some of the engines and some of the rolling stock involved. You'll have to wait until further into the video to find out how they're involved in it. But yes, what's running around now will get a mention, mostly. So Richard just did wagons, which sort of included carriages as well, and locomotives. Now he doesn't seem to have many steam locomotives. I'm not saying he hasn't, but he didn't seem to have any in his favourite list. I obviously have, so I'm going to divide this into 4 sections rather than 2 that he did. So we're going to have wagons, and then we're going to have carriages, then diesel locomotives, and then steam locomotives. I will do the same as he did, which is a top 5, and also some that didn't quite make it. I'm not hopefully going to go into as much detail as he did, because otherwise this is going to be a long video anyway. I think probably one of my longest, if not the longest, so I apologise for the length of it, but I do not want to do it in 2 parts, because I always notice with 2-parters the first one gets quite a reasonable amount of views and the second one isn't so good, so I think people prefer to see it all in one go. So this will just be a long video. So with no more ado, we'll get into the first part of it, which is going to be wagons. And like him, I will start with obviously the ones that didn't quite make it and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I hope you like it. But as I say, you will see some locomotives and trains running around, which obviously he couldn't do because he hasn't got a loop like I have. Anyway, I'd like to thank any new subscribers that have come on. It's creeping up slowly. I'm over 300 odd now, and I won't say the precise number because it won't be the same when I get this up online for you. But thank all my subscribers, and we'll get on with the choices. Cheers. So we're starting at the very bottom, which is the wagons, and the Bachmann container wagons that you see here, or one of them, they didn't make it. They're almost. They were very troublesome, and as you saw, I've had to do a video on modify them, which you shouldn't have to do. They're a light rake of wagons, and they look great running round, but you wouldn't believe the trouble I've had using them. They are better now since doing the mods, but yes, not my favourite wagons by a long way. So number 5 on the list might surprise you. It's my humble Hornby Northeast wagon that you see before you. Why do you say this is number 5? You don't usually see it like this. This is the donor wagon of the two that I've got of these. I use both. I take the body off, which you usually see around the engine shed area, and I use the actual chassis to do my little cameras with. So I thought this was worth a mention. It's almost a nothing wagon. I've only got 2 of them, and I've got a load of other ones, although this is quite a nice one. So yeah, this is number 5. So it will be going round with one of the trains that's going on now. So number 5 is a Northeastern Hornby box wagon. So number 4 on the list is my Hornby 7-plank named coal wagons, albeit one without coal in. I love these, they're really nice. Needed a bit of weight in them. First got them, they were a little bit skittish, shall we say. They're very light, a little bit of extra weight, and the load helps. And they're nice, they look great, don't they? And they'll go well with my other new acquisitions from Daypole that have just gone around in the background. So I thought these were really nice, and obviously they're very cheap. I mean, I got one of these, I think, with another, another set of other things, probably the crane, I would imagine. So yeah, like these, run well, look nice, and compliments of the layout, I think, I would say. Not got as many as some people, obviously, but these will do, along with the ones going past in the background. So, number 3, it's my newly acquired Shark wagon, goods van. It's a magnificent model. It's so heavy, it's completely ridiculous. For such a little wagon, it is very heavy, and I'm sure it will complement the layout no end. Yeah, really pleased with this. I think it's probably going to go on the end and replace the Northeast goods wagon on our train that's going around. Although, to be honest, this train is getting rather heavy for my poor little 47 railroad. We'll see how we go. So number 3 is the Shark goods van with the hours to put in the ballast. I used to use this to put ballast in between the tracks, apparently. And there are pictures on the internet of them. They don't look as pristine as these do, this one does, but yes, nice wagon. It will be a very good complement to the layout, and I'm sure you'll see it running quite a bit. So, yep. So, we're getting down near the top now. So number 2 is the really good Daypole hoppers, green hoppers, Freightliner livery. Must say I prefer the green ones to the white ones. When I bought these were a revelation. The Daypole makes them. They are a real quality model. When you handle it and feel it, it's heavy. It runs absolutely superbly. And they look great. I've got 8 of these and they run really well. And with each one we got a modern tail light. Doesn't work obviously, but it's it's there. And I do have one on the last carriage of this rake. So I've got 2 here. So these will be running around probably with a new loco. Because I don't think the poor old 47 had managed them. And I might try, I'll see how I go. But yeah, superb model. I made the loads in a couple of videos I posted. which look alright, and the beauty is you can take the load out if you want. But yeah, a real quality model that I really like and would have been number one if not for some new acquisitions that I bought recently. So yeah, lovely model. So we've reached number one. As you can see, it's the KIV telescopic hood wagon in tip hook rail blue, which I've only just acquired. I think these are absolutely fabulous wagons, so detailed, and I think the cherry on top is that they open and you've got a load already with the wagon. So Daypole again, well done Daypole. Seem to be well made. Obviously can be a bit fragile with all the little pieces added on, but you know, you have to be careful, don't we? Or have a lot of glue. So I've got the three here. I'm sorry about the rather noisy train running through in the background. As you can see, I've got my Daypole ballast wagons on. 4047 just gave up the ghost on this, it couldn't pull it up. So I substituted it with my other railroad, the 40, the class 40, which if you listen, you might hear it just slipping a bit, although it's been running for about 15 minutes and it seems to be pulling them a bit better now. So it's right, but when I add these on to that, I think that will do it, you know, I might have to change the logo again. So anyway, these are rather nice. As we know, you can actually open them like so and show the load. I think they're really super. So these are my number one, and number two going past in the background. So thank you. So we're now into the coach section, and the almost in this section is my cream and chocolate Hornby Mark 1 carriages. I like them, I use them a lot, I think they look great. Just shows you the breadth of carriages that are available that this hasn't got into the top 5. But lovely, you put it on the layout, the whole rake, and it will just perform. It will just go round, no problem, super. Almost everything you want with a coach. Looks great, cheap to buy, and it gives you another train to run round. So absolutely super. As you can see in the background, the class 40 is now changed to a class 47, the Rackman, and it's hauling this train round with no trouble whatsoever at a nice slow speed. So just shows you need to use the locomotives in a sensible manner, shall I say. So almost, but not quite, the chocolate and cream Mark 1 coaches, Hornby. So my number 5 coach is in GWR chocolate and cream, and I've got to thank one of my subscribers, Robert Scott, for the pronunciation of these, because if you remember I had a little bit of trouble, and he assures me, and I've got it in writing, that you pronounce these clear story carriages, not the attempts that I tried to do. So thank you to him for teaching us something we didn't know, which is what YouTube's all about, surely. So these are a nice carriage. Hornby, the better quality one, not the railroad one. There's a railroad ones going round as well, which are half the price. But I think these look really phenomenal. And you can see why I put off doing this video until after I'd got my delivery. So we've now had two that I didn't have if I'd have done it before. So going well. So yeah, these are really nice. Run round, had no problems with them. Look nice behind moored, I think you'll agree. And probably behind the Ginty as well, although probably not quite the right era. And it's a nice addition to the layout. So number 4, as you can see, are my HST carriages. These are in the swallow tail livery, and you've seen them running around a lot. Work absolutely superbly. Really nice detailed carriage. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. Do what they say on the tin. They go round either way, don't derail, don't have whoopsies, super for filming, and I love them. And I'm glad I bought a reasonable rake of them, 5 in all. So yeah, I like these. I'm sure there are maybe carriages you can buy in this sort of mode that are more detailed, maybe the Oxford Rail, or even the Backman, I don't know. But I like Hornby stuff, I always have, I think. So yeah, so this is number 4 on the list. So number 3. These Gresley coaches came out of the original Majestic train set. I think they look quite nice. Okay, not a load of detail, but you know, they look the part, they run round well, and I must admit most Hornby carriages do run round okay with not a lot of trouble. So yeah, so I rather like these. I'll go with the cream and chocolate carriages I have, so you can make a longer rake if you want. Whether they will ever run together, I do not know. So I like these. So these are number 3 on the carriages set. So number 2, Pullman carriages, Hornby, railroad ones. Like these, look good, do the job, and a third of the price of the more expensive ones with the lights, which at the beginning was important to me. And yeah, they're great. All Hornby carriages, run round, not a problem, never derail, look good. And as you see, they're in my title sequence, my end sequence. So, my number 1 coach, looking at it like this, it doesn't look anything, does it? You wonder, why is this number 1? So, this is my Backman BR Mark 2F DBSO coach. Now, why am I being so precise on this coach when I haven't really bothered with any of the others? Well, this is a special coach. This has got a decoder inside. And if I turn down the lights a bit, as you can see, some lights have come on. Now this is when it's going forwards, and these are basically the headlights in a normal locomotive. But if I switch a switch, you can see that they change from the headlights to the tail lights. That's not all you can do with this. I shall turn the lights down even a bit more. And you probably saw the cab lights come on there. So I will relocate this coach sideways view, and you can see what else it does. So now you can see that all the lights are on. And the beauty of this coach is you can turn them off whichever you like. So you can have the drivers on or not. You can have the guards area on or not, and the passenger area on or not, and obviously the tail lights or the headlamps as you want. All controllable by DCC. So, quite a versatile coach, and it allows me to run this type of train forwards or backwards, because you can have a driver at the front. So I thought it was worth buying. I actually got it when I returned my 101 railcar unit, and couldn't have two because of the problems with those, and I got this plus some other bits in its place. So I don't think I probably would have bought it otherwise. I just thought it was there. It's quite expensive, as we know, Wagons stuff is, and this with the decoder in, but it's a really nice coach. So, this was number one, and I think it's a worthy winner. So, we've had the Wagons and the Carriages, so I'm just inserting this little bit in to say, right, here we go into the locomotives. So we're going to start off with the diesels, and what you can see running behind me are all the diesel locomotives that didn't actually make it into the top 5. And I look at what's on there and I think, my God, what have I done? But you know, my choices are going to be completely different to anybody else's, which is why it would be interesting to see other YouTube channels doing this, and it doesn't have to be model railways. It could be, you know, the locomotives, the proper trains that you film out in the wide world. You know, if you've got a favourite, you always try and picture a different, you know, the same locomotive because you really so like them. You know, it might be a 47 or a 68, probably a Deltic might feature in it. I don't know, but we'll now get on with the engine section and, as I say, the diesels. So I'm going to do the diesel ones that didn't make it slightly different to what I did with the previous Wagons and Carriages. Cheers, bye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan in on the individual locos and just do a little piece while they circulate. So the first one, as you can see, is my Hornby 66. Lovely loco, goes very well with the change to the CV that we did through Alan at Dragon Junction. Works absolutely superbly. Why is this not in my top 10? Don't really know. There were some very surprising choices I made on these, and this one just didn't make it. But it's a lovely loco, looks superb. I really do like this livery, and runs really well. And if you notice, it is actually pushing around our number 1 coach at the back and front of this train with the lights on. Not in the baggage compartment, could be a bit dangerous to him. So that didn't make it. Right, number 2 that didn't make it is my new Hornby 60. So why didn't this make it? I think basically because it's so new, and I haven't had a chance to make an opinion on it. It's a lovely loco, runs absolutely lovely, really heavy, no problem pulling anything I don't think, and I'm really impressed with it. But no, in this particular time it didn't quite make it, I'm afraid. But I'm sure if I do future ones of these, it will. So the last one that didn't make it is my Bachmann 47, which is a lovely loco. Again very heavy, will pull anything you want, and it was my first Bachmann locomotive that I bought, and I do like them. First one that had lights on that I bought, and it does what it says on the tin, I think, as I've said before. Lovely loco. So yeah, but unbelievably it didn't make it. Amazing. So we now reached the top 5 in the diesels. So number 5, as you can see, is my Daypole Class 68. Absolutely super model. The only fault I have with it is the coupling. It's a little bit too sloppy. If you drop, it causes problems. I've actually got a medium size coupling on it. I find the small ones are a bit of a pain in the neck. So probably why it's number 5. It would have been a lot higher, I think, without that. But it runs faultlessly. If you've got the sound on, it does take an awful long time to actually start moving when you push the go button. Which, you know, it adds to the realism, I suppose, but it can be annoying when you want to get on with it. But yeah, that's a super model. Again, very heavy, pull anything. And I think Daypole should be commended. It's really good, and this was under £200, so I think it's really good value. They put some of the others to shame, I think, with the detail on it. So number 5 is the Daypole Class 68 in Direct Rail Services Compass livery, which I think is an absolutely super livery. So number 4 is the HST Class 43 in the Swallowtail Intercity livery. This was Richard's at St Michael's Hills number 1, obviously with the trailing power car, which obviously doesn't have any motor in it, but it does have a decoder. Absolutely super model. Why is it number 4 in mine and number 1 on his? A couple of reasons really. I've got a lot of other locos that will surprise you that I've chosen them above this. This is the only one I've had that broke and actually had to be sent back to Hornby to be repaired, which it was duly and sent back, and I had my postage refunded, which was not an inconsiderate £8. And yes, it was basically one of the drive shafts had failed in the back bogey. So yes, but very effectively repaired. Came back as it went, perfect, no damage. Mr. Dixon, Hornby, look after your things, unlike Backman by the sound of it. And I love it, and it runs a lot. And as I've said before, with the carriage, you know, backwards and forwards, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, number 4 is the Hornby HST Class 43 in the Swallowtail Intercity livery. So number 3, and it's the Backman 101 diesel multiple unit, a 2-car set, connected electrically between the 2 cars. Love this, I really like it. Actually wanted 2, but there was a video about the trains that never were. Well, this one did make it. Has to be run on 3, otherwise there were no lights. And if I turn the light off a bit, hopefully you can see the lights in there, a bit dim, and there are people in it as well, which come all combined. I'll put the light back on here. Lovely little runner, always does what I want it to do, doesn't derail, doesn't cause whoopsies, unlike some other things we could name. And love it. So yeah, this is number 3, the Backman 101 DMU in Network Southeast livery. Came with sound, the people in it, and the lights. Great little layout, under £200 just. So pretty good. So, we're down to number 2 now. Number 2, as you can see, it's a Hornby 08 shunter in DB Schenker colour scheme livery. Same as my Class 60 that I've acquired, the new one. And absolutely super loco. Came with sound, no lights, but it's Hornby. But it's a great little logo, never anything hurried with it, you can just take your time, you can run it really slowly. It will pull a surprising amount of carriages or boot wagons, to be honest. Quite heavy, and yes, I really enjoyed this when I got this. You can think. I mean, obviously my layout isn't a shunter's layout as such. You can do shunting on it if you want. There is the possibility to do that. I may do a video on that. That's a thought. I should do that. Anyway, so the 08 shunter from Hornby in DB Schenker livery is my number 2, my runner-up. So what's going to be my number 1? I tend to think you're going to be very surprised. So we're on to number 1. Where is it? You keep me guessing just for a bit more. Keep the tension going. The poor little DMU, he had a failure, all the power went. So the 08 came and rescued him. So that's why we've got that running now. So I will now pan down gently and show you my number 1. And you will probably be very amazed. Yes, it's my Hornby 37 in the rail freight livery. Why this one, you ask? 37 we can understand. I'm sure a lot of modelers would like number 37 being their number 1. Probably in a Backman with all the lights and the whistles and whatever. This is my only 37 I've got. And to be honest, the reason it's number one is it's the workhorse of the layout. It's on the layout a hell of a lot, but you never see it because it's there doing the camera work around the layout. This is my camera loco really. But it can be a star in its own right. I did a video on Class 37 because everybody was showing Class 37 to Pac-Man. And I did one with the Hornby one, and it's actually doing quite well. It's getting views even now. So yeah, so I like it. The sound is really good on it, really, for a basic Hornby railroad model that was £84, I believe, when I bought it. Can't go wrong. I took the felt tip pen to the grills and darkened it up a bit, and did the same to the windscreen wipers on the windscreens. But I think it looks great. I think it looks absolutely super. For the money, you know, you could buy 2 or almost 3 of these for one Batman loco. So absolutely great. So this is my number one. So the next bit will be on the steam engines. So we're on to the steam, and I'm going to do the same as I did with the other one. Concentrate on each one. So we've got 3 again, and we'll start with the Thompson L1. It's a Hornby model that was chipped and sound done by Patterns, and it's a stunning looking loco. The reason it didn't get in to the top 5 is really down to the operation of it. It's got a bogie on the front that is prone to jumping off. So yes, nice loco. Had a few operational problems with it. It jams up from time to time, which I've yet to discover what it is. Usually frees up if I release the bottom plate. And as I say, the bogie, the front bogie is a bit of a problem. But actually, if you run it backwards, it's pretty good. But it's a very weird boat. So this is one of the runners up. Now the next one is our Tornado. Seen here with its sort of support carriage that it will probably have. Although being a new loco, it probably doesn't need one. this came with a tornado train set, so it was relatively cheap. Obviously put the decoder in it. All the railroad A1s, which is this one and Bon Accord, do have their problems. It's running around okay. Really have to decide what track you're going to put it on and which way you're going to put it to go. Otherwise it does cause quite a bit of hassle, to be honest. But it's a nice loco, it looks lovely. And when it's working, I love it. So this is one of the other runners up. Perhaps the new tornado that has come out, railroad tornado, is better in this sense. If I try and take this over points, it will just derail nearly all the time, and Bon Accord is even worse, which is why you never very often see it. So that's the second of the three. So number 3 of the 3 that didn't quite make it is Mallard. This again is a railroad model, which I bought at Clapton Model Railway shop. Well, actually it's a general craft shop really. They sell an awful lot more than model railways. And this one didn't make it because, as you probably saw there, I'm still having a few problems with this one. And it is prone to derailing. It's a nice loco. Perhaps I should have paid the money for the proper one. But obviously what I like about it is it came along with the sound decoder all fitted. So there we are. We have 3 locos here, 2 of which are railroad ones, and one that is not, which is quite an expensive one. And to be honest, the Thompson is my most expensive loco because of the way I had it chipped and everything. You can see Mallard is a little bit prone to jumping forward. Anyway, so these are the 3 runners up. So here we have the first on the list. Number 5 is Maud. One of my newest locos. Had its problems at the beginning, had to send it back. But it's a lovely little loco, it really is, and it's quite a heavy model. It pulls quite well. Looks absolutely super. I bought the new carriages for it, which got into the top 5 of the carriage section, so this is an award-winning combination. Obviously 060 with a tender. Stunning livery. I really do like the Northern Railway livery. Really looks good. So one of my subscribers would love one of these. Unfortunately, he runs DC and hasn't got unlimited funds, so doesn't really want to buy this and then take out the DC part, the DCC part. So I feel sorry for him. It's a shame, isn't it? They should do these really stunning liveries in both DC and DCC sound, shouldn't they? So number 5 on the steam engine category is Maud, a J36 locomotive. So, a top 5 could never be without a Flying Scotsman, could it? So, this is the Hornby Flying Scotsman, the one that is preserved in York, 60103 in the green, which I think is rather nice. This is a proper Hornby, so not the railroad, this is a proper Hornby. Came with the sound, works very well. Doesn't seem to have the problems with derailing that the railroad ones do. And it certainly doesn't have the problems with picking up power and signals because it's got pickups to the tender. So really nice model, and I'm glad I got this one. It's really nice. You've seen it in quite a few of the videos, and I'm sure you'll see it in a few more. So, number 4 is Flying Scotsman, the preserved one. Hornby, very nice. So, we go on to number 3, and what we have before us is obviously a Black 5, 460. Really, you would say the ubiquitous engine on British Rail when it was being used. It would do passenger, it would do freight. I think designed more as a freight locomotive. But 45116 is a very nice Hornby model that came again with the decoder, sound decoder fitted. Absolutely superb, this one. It just does what it's supposed to do. It just runs around the layout. Bad track work, which I've obviously got some dodgy track work. Just takes it all in its stride and does everything you want to. I'm surprised it's at number 3. I thought it might have been 1 or 2, but you might understand when you see number 2 why this is number 3. But yeah, absolutely superb loco, and I love it to bits. And I think a lot of us enthusiasts do. Looks superb in real life, doesn't it? Hurtling along. Great loco. So this is number 3, the Black 5, the 5MT mixed traffic. So at number 2, we have the equally ubiquitous Ginty, the LMS 060, or British Rail, or whatever railway you want. I think they all served on them. This is obviously my second Ginty, as the first one broke. And it was easier to just to buy a new one and transfer all the stuff across. The fact that I could do that shows how easy it was to work on. And I love these, they're really nice, aren't they? Especially with the sound, quite a distinctive sound of its own, as has the Thompson L1. And yes, this was the shunter and the passenger train and the goods train, so really the forerunner of the Black 5 that's running round, that was number 3. So yeah, the Ginty, 7109, and when I have this running round in a moment, I will put the one that broke behind it and show you that one going around as well. And that was the SDJR version of the Ginty, number 19. So, number 2, the runner-up, is the Ginty, the LMS Ginty Hornby. As I say, very reasonably priced if you don't want them with sound and, well, with sound. I think if you just want DCC, reasonably reasonable. So the number 1 loco steam category is the 460 again, Earl of St Germans. This is a castle class locomotive, Hornby, and came again with the sound decoder already installed. This is my number one. Why is this my number one? It does everything I want of it, the same really as the Black 5. To be honest, it's a prettier colour, isn't it, than the Black 5, and maybe just a little bit more presence. But I liked it. It's been in a lot of my videos, and just does what you want it to do. Like really most of the top four, they've always sort of performed fairly well. Well, no, really, through five. If I was picking out one that does still give me two that give me a bit of trouble, it would be Flying Scotsman can occasionally derail for no reason, and the Ginty sometimes after prolonged running sticks on the points and just starts up again, because it's only got 6 wheels, isn't it? But yeah, so the number one for the steam category is the 460 Castle Class Earl of St Germans, in this rather distinctive green livery. So that's the end of my selection of my favourite locos and rolling stock. And just to finish off, we now have the top 3 steam locos running round with various carriages, and I will just do a freehand follow them around to finish this off. So here we have number 3, the Black 5. Pulling my second best carriages, the Pullmans. So coming into shot here is number 2, our pair of Ginties, and they're pulling the Clear Story carriages that I got to run with more, but they look equally at home being pulled by the Ginties. And finally, we have the winner of this category, the Castle Class Earl of St Germans, pulling some cream and chocolate Mark 1 carriages, which I suspect would have been the carriages that this would have pulled on its Devon and Cornwall trips. So as we have a last look at the layout with the top 3 steam locomotives running round, at the end of this video I'm going to put a series of photographs up showing all of my stock. Have a good look at them, and please feel free to freeze the pictures, and see if you think anything else would have been worthy of being my number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Obviously this has been my selection and yours may be very different, so have a look and see maybe what you might have chosen. And as I've said in the other videos, can you other YouTubers have a go at doing this? It doesn't have to be the same as this. It can be as simple as St Michael's Hill did his, or it can be as long-winded as mine is, or anything in between. But let's see if we can get a series of these going. And it's nice to show the trains, isn't it, and the engines, and what you think of them. Okay, so signing off now, and thank you for watching. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And I thank all my new subscribers that have come on. So thank you all very much. Thank you. Bye.